Tonight on News 5 Live, Shine Barrow explains his half-hearted apology and says that it is time for a genuine reset in the House of Representatives. The communities of Laguna and Yemery Grove reach an interim border agreement. And PUP Chairman Henry Charles Usher expresses disappointment in Belmopan Mayor Sharon Palacio. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
My Social Security. Your direct online access to all your Social Security information. 360 view of all your Social Security information. Registration services, benefits, contributions, and employer services at your fingertips. Enjoy all the new features with your My Social Security account. Register with SSB. Submission of benefit claims. Submission of contribution statements. View contribution record. Enjoy all your My Social Security feature at ssbportal.org.bz. Social Security at your fingertips.
Good morning. Thank you for calling me. This is during the inspection first. Once the inspection passes, we do the connection treatment.
Our teams at BEL continue to serve you.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank. Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Wednesday, October 18th. I am Sabrina Daly. Opposition leader Shine Barrow has written to the Speaker of the House of Representatives in respect of the unwelcome remarks made in an email that was sent to her back in August. As we reported, the comments that were made in response to Valerie Wood's last-minute decision to inform Barrow that his request for a no-confidence motion would not be carried did not go over well with fellow parliamentarians. On Friday, Barrow was given a deadline of 18 days during which he was expected to apologize to the Speaker. But his letter to the presiding officer of the House of Representatives, despite starting off with the words, "I apologize," did not speak to what was said. Instead, Barrow expressed regret for how Woods felt about the comments. Today, when we caught up with him, he explained that there's more to be done in Parliament than hanging up on what has been said.
I believe the other contents of the letter are more important where it is that I genuinely seek a reset with the Speaker on behalf of the opposition, on behalf of my office, as the Prime Minister in waiting, the government in waiting. We have serious work to do in the House of Representatives, and I do believe things have gotten to a low, an extreme low, where members in the House, I was threatened by a member in the House. I was told to come outside. Members in the House use all types of abusive and offensive, insulting behavior. It's pathological. And you know, there's even been times where the Speaker laughed or didn't do anything. And see, what happens is, as I said in my letter, when you create this level of mistrust and confidence is eroded, then things descend into disorder and chaos. Because if we don't feel respected, if we don't feel revered, and that we are given the opportunity to do what we were elected to do by the people of this country, then frustration sets in, and things descend to lows that we don't want them to be. So I genuinely don't want to continue in this fashion. I hope that the Speaker has heard valid complaints made not just by myself but other members of the opposition, and that she will seek to do her best to be balanced and equitable in her discharge.
Political pundits took to social media chiding the leader of the opposition, saying that it was a backhanded apology. In the letter, Shine Barrow apologizes for the offense that the Speaker of the House took to his words, but that his complaints are still valid. He also wrote to the chairman of the Privileges Committee to address comments made by PM John Briceño and Minister Jose Abelardo Mai towards Albert Area Representative Tracy Panton. Today, when the media caught up with two PUP parliamentarians, they shared their opinions on the apology letter issued by the leader of the opposition.
I think, as I reminded him in the House, Section 38(8), standing orders, is very clear that the conduct of the Speaker cannot be questioned unless a proper motion is brought. He's aware of that. I saw him reading the book in the House meeting when the section was pointed out to him. So I believe he understands that he should not have done what he did. Sending that email was improper of him. Calling into question the conduct of the Speaker was improper of him, because when you call into question the chair or the Speaker, you're calling into question the entire process of the House. So it's good that he sent that apology.
George Price used to always say to us as young students, let not the best be the enemy of the good. You know, I think, listen, the leader of the opposition went from a very hard line position of no apology and, you know, very obnoxious and arrogant in my view, to a position where he is admitting, I believe, in his own way, that he erred and that in fact he owes the Speaker an apology. So in my view, we should not bicker over the manner and content of that apology. I think, you know, I certainly accept it as an apology, but of course that's not a decision for me to make. Ultimately, the Speaker will have to be satisfied that it is an apology in her view, and then the committee, I imagine, the Constitutional and Foreign Affairs Committee, Privileges Committee, will take a look at it. But speaking for myself, I am satisfied that you know, he has satisfactorily responded, as he was called upon by so many members in the last House meeting to do. So I think he made the right decision. In terms of what was the other thing?
He is asking
oh
for
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
committee,
Yeah,
so will
I mean,
those be tabled?
Yeah, well, we'll have a House committee meeting, I think, on the 23rd. So certainly, I mean, he can table it. I can tell you my position. I view it, I saw the letter this morning. I view that as absolutely frivolous and vexatious. I see no merit or substance in what he is requesting. You know, this is completely different. You know, across the aisle, we have, you know, everybody gets a little bit of offensive from time to time. That's, in a sense, that's what we sign up for, the hurly-burly of politics. I know some people don't like it, but that's the reality of politics on the House floor.
In writing to the chair of the Constitution and Foreign Affairs Committee on Wednesday, opposition leader Barrow requested that the next meeting of that working group, scheduled for October 23rd, be used to discuss equally unsavory language used by Prime Minister John Briceño and Orange Walk South Area Rep Jose Abelardo Mai towards Albert Area Representative Tracy Panton in previous House meetings.
My hope is that when it comes to the People's United Party, I am extremely pessimistic. But my hope is that Julius Espat and the members of the House Committee, as well as the members of the House, will be true to all of the sanctimonious pontification that they exercised in the House last Friday when it came to the recommendation that I should apologize to the Speaker. As per the standing orders, all members of the House should be treated with a certain level of reverence and respect, and certainly that should apply to the opposition members, and certainly in the way that they attempted to misuse and abuse the gender issue in this instance, where the member from Alberts is a woman, and in particular both offensive, objectionable comments made by Abelardo Mai and John Briceño related to gender. I find it fitting in this spirit of reset. Everyone seems to want to reset and doesn't want the House to continue the way it may have been conducted under previous speakers. And during this speaker, we have seen the House really descend into chaos and really reach extreme lows. So if we're all going to reset, then this is a perfect opportunity for the Constitution and Foreign Affairs House Committee to demonstrate that they are about equity and fair play when it comes to members of the House, regardless of which side.
Collet Area Representative Patrick Fauber has also made amends with his party after issuing a letter last week in which he basically drew distance from Shine Barrow's comments towards the Speaker of the House. In a text message to the executive of the United Democratic Party, Fauber says, quote, "In the vein of the party leader's concession, I sincerely apologize for any harm that my letter and statement in the House may have caused to the party. It was not my intention to undermine or harm our collective efforts. I value the trust and unity of our members," end quote. Here's what Party Leader Barrow had to say about the apology.
We're all delighted that he has apologized to the party for that letter, and we move on. We have work to do. We don't want to be distracted. We are all committed to being unified in the United Democratic Party for the sake of Belize. Our people in the 31 constituencies are counting on us to keep it together so that they can be rescued from the clutches of the John Briceño monster that is this PUP government.
Would you accept that you may have been perhaps a bit impulsive or hasty in characterizing his move by submitting this letter as essentially an act of crossing the floor?
No, the Constitution allows me that prerogative. States it very clearly that when the opposition leader determines that to be the case, that he should write the Speaker, and then the Speaker will make the interpretation. So that was my analysis, but being the humble leader that I am, that is more concerned with keeping the party united and serving the interests of the Belizean people rather than ego or pride or emotions or personal vendettas. I was guided by my colleagues to resolve the matter internally, and that is what we did.
Coming up, border disputes and consent protocols in southern Belize. We'll have more details when we come back.
Whether you're in a bustling urban area or a tranquil rural community, connectivity matters. Internet access is key to continued socioeconomic development. That is why Digi, our national telecom, has and will continue to invest millions of dollars to expand its mobile and fiber networks throughout Belize. Thousands of mobile users and households, especially along the highways and in rural communities, are now enjoying the benefits of Digi's resilient infrastructure. Our national telecom will continue to lead the charge towards digital transformation by utilizing cutting-edge technology and maintaining an unwavering dedication to excellence. With our DigiWallet solution, Belizeans in urban and rural areas now have easy and safe access to a wide array of financial services via their mobile devices. And with the recent launch of DigiTV, Digi has made history, becoming the only quad play service provider in Belize. Now, customers can save with our DigiOne bundles that offer home internet, mobile, home phone, and DigiTV services all in one place. Digi is committed to providing all communities with access to high-quality, reliable, and affordable services while unlocking untapped potential and opening the doors to a brighter future for all. Be a part of the transformation and experience connectivity like never before. Because with Digi, connectivity matters.
14 teams started on their quest to win the 2023 Benny's Inter-Office Basketball Championship rings. 10 have fallen by the wayside, and now we're down to the final four, the Benny's IBL semi-final.
They're playing basketball.
The Belize Civic Center will feature this Saturday night, October 21 at 7:30 p.m. the highly energetic and built on a defensive motor mindset, your Ministry of Health squad, led by Ryan Michaels, Darwin Zuniga, and Neil Nicholson, battling against the mighty police department, who also have a DNA like the G13, who will answer with Albert Longsworth, Stephen Wade, and Joseph Sutherland. Can the MOH stop the police? Who can stop the police?
Who on the dance hall to stop police?
Then at 8:30 p.m.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Your defending champion, Rico Black and his Tough Enough Tours, will start their quest to defend their championship. But this time, it's his big son, Afri Black, leading the way, and his adopted sons, Tyrone Mission Edwards and Earl and Bagger Ferguson. But only this time, it's gonna be a revenge series from last year for the BWS squad, who is stronger, bigger, and poised with blood in their eyes. Leading their charge will be Luis Barcelona Jr., Earl Bolo Johnson, and Travis Turbo Bernardes. Who will win the ring? Remember, this Saturday night at the Belize Civic Center, 7:30 p.m., it's the semifinals. Game one of the best of three series.
Inter-Office Basketball League, just another level!
Bring out the entire family. The after party will be at Thirsty Thursdays. Proud sponsors. So let's get it on!
At times, life can become full of challenges and feel overwhelming. Conditions such as depression, anxiety, substance dependence, and a family history of suicide or previous suicide attempts are also factors that may contribute to suicide. A suicidal person may experience feelings of hopelessness, worthlessness, emptiness, and being a burden to family and friends. They feel like they have exhausted all their options and there is no way out. Suicidal people do not truly want to die, but see it as the only option to end the unbearable pain they are in. If you or someone you know needs help, contact us at phone number 828-5992, or you can visit your nearest hospital and ask to speak with a mental health nurse. Services are available countrywide.
With the steady increase in prices, it's hard to hold on to your hard-earned cash. Well, here at Benny's, prices are steadily falling, making it easier to stretch your dollars. Prices are slashed on electrical products, LED lights, plywood, and wheelbarrows. Yes, we have the cheapest in town. And with X's massive season going on right now, get store-wide discounts on select products from now through the summer 31st. Visit a Benny's store near you today, where the prices just keep on falling. Benny's, quality and savings.
Several Maya and Garifuna communities in southern Belize have been at odds for quite some time over border disputes. Recently, the government of Belize made progress in its attempt to resolve the tension between Yemery Grove and Laguna Village with the signing of an interim border agreement. Since the Caribbean Court of Justice upheld a decision in favor of Maya land rights in 2015, these rural communities have been clamoring to have their village borders officially defined. But it has been a slow process, and doubt surrounding where these communal land begin and end has led to bitter disputes. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
Leaders of Yemery Grove and Laguna have agreed on a temporary borderline between the neighboring villages. Tension has escalated between residents of both communities over their border. On Friday, what many thought would have been an almost impossible sell was agreed upon by villagers on either side of the land dispute. Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs Dolores Balderramos Garcia says the alternative solution was for the government to establish a no-go zone.
I'm happy to say that the parties, meaning Laguna Village and Yemery Grove Village leaders, I'm really happy to say that sitting down with the facilitation of our ministry and other players, other ministries, they were able to come up with their own interim boundary so that they don't continue fighting. So, and guess what? We had told them that if you don't agree, the government will have to impose like a sort of a no-go zone, something like an adjacency zone type thing.
We have seen instances where land markers have been removed from properties along the disputed borderline. There have been also reports of threats from both communities. On several occasions, police officers were called in to assist with quelling these heated disputes. The agreement was reached with some key actions that all parties have committed not to undertake in the disputed area.
We had input from our Ministry of Natural Resources, the Commissioner's Office in down south. We had input from local government, and of course we had our legal advisor, Mr. Marshalek. So we were very pleased that they were able to come up with that, at least that interim agreement to keep the peace. And we will probably have to have an outreach to the villages of Midway and Barranco because they too have a boundary issue.
And as the government prioritizes defining a permanent border between Yemery Grove and Laguna, it must also pay attention to what is taking place with Barranco and Midway, where a similar situation is unfolding. Residents of Barranco, a Garifuna community, are accusing the residents of Midway, a Maya village, of developing their lands. The dispute has seen several cease and desist letters exchanged and flare-ups from both sides. In Indian Creek Village, another Maya community, the first alcalde organized a demonstration against the operation of a recently constructed solar system in the village, days before it was inaugurated.
I don't want to talk what I don't know, but I think this may have something to do with some Maya advocates saying that there should be compensation for use of property, etc.
But in spite of the protest, Indian Creek Village Chairman Ernesto Chuck spoke from the podium at Friday's inaugural event. He referred to the project as a testament to the spirit of collaboration.
Today, our communities stand united, ready to embrace a future powered by the sun's energy. As we gather here to officially inaugurate this remarkable solar plant, let us remember the immense potential it holds. It is not just physical structure, but a testament to the spirit of progress, innovation, and collaboration.
In 2015, the Caribbean Court of Justice affirmed that the Maya people of southern Belize have rights to lands that they have customarily used and occupied. The Free, Prior, and Informed Consent Protocol has since been established. The protocol gives Maya communities the opportunity to give or withhold consent to any project within their communities.
As you're aware, the Caribbean Court of Justice made a ruling in 2015 that recognizes customary Maya land rights. And as such, it is important that for any development that may come into these communities, for any investment that may come into these communities, that there is a process that the communities must be engaged through, and that is the Free, Prior, Informed Consent, the FPIC. And certainly here for Indian Creek and these communities, it was a very lengthy process and a very worthwhile process, because we must ensure that we adhere to what the Caribbean Court of Justice has ruled.
When it comes down to compensation to Indian Creek Village for the use of the lands where the solar system has been constructed, the government has taken a hard stance against such a proposal.
Of course, the government's position is that if we are rolling out something that is going to be beneficial to the entire community, then the issue of compensation doesn't even arise. So that is the government's position.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
As Minister Dolores says, the leaders of Yemery Grove and Laguna came together and agreed on an interim border as a means of quelling the increased tension. But no agreement was signed on that day. The leaders were informed that an official agreement would be drafted by the Office of the Attorney General and will be distributed for signing. News 5 confirmed that the agreement document was issued today and that one village chairman has taken issue with some of the stipulations outlined in the document. The document says that both parties must agree that there will be no new developments in the contentious zone. The villagers must also support the government's efforts to conduct inspection and map the entire disputed areas, as well as cooperate with the formal demarcation process. But a map has recently surfaced showing what appears to be the government's proposed boundary for the area in dispute. News 5 has confirmed that the proposed boundary line has the chairman of Yemery Grove Village, Harold Usher, on edge. We understand that he will be seeking legal advice before signing onto the agreement. This means that there is still work ahead for Minister Garcia and the government of Belize to get to a signed agreement between the two villages. We will continue to follow. On October 4th, the National Creole Council issued a release expressing alarm over the tensions between the Creole community of Yemery Grove and the neighboring Maya community of Laguna. The release speaks to the diversity of the country and ethnic groups living in peace and harmony, and that, quote, the wanton disregard for the Belizean collective threatens to unravel our beautiful Belizean tapestry and should be rebuffed by all right-thinking Belizeans, unquote. Today, Minister of Culture Francis Fonseca spoke of the entire cabinet being engaged in the issue.
We are all involved. I mean, the entire cabinet is engaged in this issue. It's a very important issue. And we, of course, one of the great things about Belize, one of our greatest assets is the harmonious relationship that exists among our different cultures and ethnic groups. We always want to preserve that. So we are concerned about that, but I'm very happy to note that the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister of Human Development and Indigenous Affairs were able to go down there into the communities, sit down in a very responsible, respectful manner with all of the stakeholders from every community and come up with a workable plan moving forward, even if it's an interim plan. So I think that's a very positive sign. I think both communities want to see a peaceful resolution to this matter, and our government is absolutely committed to working with them to find that resolution.
On Tuesday, the Belize Peace Movement issued a release to update the public of the ongoing redistricting case 55 of 2019. As we reported, back in July of this year, the Elections and Boundaries Commission presented a redivisioning proposal, which the BPM says does not comply with the constitutional requirement to make electoral divisions in Belize nearly an equal number of voters. According to the release, the Commission's, quote, unconstitutional proposal stands indefinitely deferred by the House of Representatives, unquote. On October 3rd, BPM applied to the High Court for enforcement of the consent order, which it is saying has been breached by the Elections and Boundaries Commission. In its application, it wants the court to grant a declaration that the current distribution of registered voters in Belize's electoral division is unconstitutional and unsuitable for the holding of the next general elections. An injunction to restrain the Elections and Boundaries Commission from using the current voters list to conduct general elections until it's brought into compliance with the Constitution, and an order to compel the Commission to make constitutional complaint proposals to the National Assembly. Today, Minister of Constitutional Reform Henry Charles Usher reacted to the release.
That report was prepared on time. They got a copy of that report. So as far as I know, the consent order was adhered to. Of course, they have a dispute and disputes go to court. What I can say in regards to that particular report, and I've said this before to the media, is that we believe that it was unfair to expect the Election and Boundaries Commission to come out with a proper informed report when it didn't have all of the information needed, particularly the census. The Section 90 of the Constitution says very clearly that they are supposed to be considering the distribution of the population in the country. It does not say the electoral population as far as the Constitution that I have. It says the population of the country. So in order to consider the population of the country, they need a proper updated census. What they were working on is a census from 2010 and then population projections from 2010 using a growth rate that we don't know if it was accurate or not. We won't know that until the census comes out. But also the census shows population trends. Where are people moving to? Rural areas, urban areas, which urban areas, the types of buildings that are being built in these areas. We see a change in Belize City where we see more apartments being built rather than single dwelling homes. And all of that information would be included in a census and certainly would be able to properly inform the Election and Boundaries Commission when they're doing that report. The July 17th date was a date set by the court. We had hoped that it would have been a date when the census would have been completed already, but now that the census is being completed, hopefully sometime soon, we believe that a proper report can then be done.
So does this then kick the redistricting exercise down the road and it won't be in time for the 2025 election?
Not necessarily. I believe that the Commission has the opportunity now, once the census is complete, to look at the census, to look at the areas in the Constitution where they do have authority to act and come up with a report. I believe that the consent order from Claim 55 was adhered to. The report was submitted. Now, was it a properly informed report? That's something that has to be determined, and I think it's better to do it right than to rush this process. It's absolutely important to make sure that the Constitution is always adhered to when it comes to the electoral divisions and the distribution of the voters.
Minister Henry Charles Usher says that there is enough time for redistricting exercise to take place before general elections. But will a re-registration exercise also need to take place?
I do know that because a lot of the groundwork has been done going forward, when they have the proper information, it shouldn't take too long for them to come out with that report.
Do you think it might trigger a re-registration?
No, I don't see it triggering a re-registration at this time. As you know, re-registration was already done. The registration process continues. We just came out of a transfer period, July and August, but in terms of registration, that continues. And they're using, see, when you do a redistricting, you have to use a base date. So you can't continue to change that date, because if you change a date, voters might be added in, a transfer period might come in between, and changes are made. So the Election and Boundaries Commission, when they do their exercise, they go to a base date, and what the voting distribution is at base date, what the population distribution is at that base date, is what they look at when determining the divisions.
After the break, will Francis Fonseca seek a re-election in next general elections? We'll tell you about that, but first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
I was quite pleased when I see the amount of streets that they have fixed, the drains that they have fixed, the drains, the culverts, the bridges, streets that they're paving, they're cementing. The town looks a lot cleaner than before. And I had to commend the mayor for the tremendous work that they have done. Also to point out to them that the government has already earmarked another $5 million to be able to spend or to invest in the in Punta Gorda, to be able to continue the paving and cementing of streets. We have a bridge that we want to fix, and also to make the big announcement that we're going to construct a new bridge, the Joe Taylor Bridge. We're going to put a 2-lane bridge that will make it easier for the citizens of Punta Gorda to be able to come in and out, and also make sure that even during a hurricane that they're not going to be blocked off from everybody.
coming. Let's go. Sa. Fastest question of the day. What you the letter here?
Who's a me the letter?
That sign right there. You can't read?
Well, make I tell you something. In this here community, everybody dump here, so me just dump my garbage right here.
So if somebody jump off a bridge, you that do it too?
No, man. No.
You never know that littering is an environmental crime and Department of the Environment can charge you for that?
Why is that a crime?
Because you pollute the same environment you live in, dirtying the same land and water you use. You don't even know that you dumping garbage can make you and your family sick by attracting disease-carrying pests, and the Department of the Environment just to try help we take care of the we environment?
Sure, all of that? Well, know that to put it that way.
Thanks for your 5 cents, brother. That's it, 5 cents question of the day.
This message is brought to you by the Department of the Environment.
Belmopan Mayor Sharon Palacio and several other PUP councillor candidates, namely Councillor Hope Amadi, Councillor candidate Maria Rebecca Tech, and Councillor candidate Rubiceli Botes Benavides, have decided not to contest the upcoming convention scheduled for this Sunday in Belmopan. The letter, dated October 13th, was written to Secretary General of the People's United Party, Linsford Castillo. Last week, Palacio took to social media expressing discontent about the vetting committee and playing dirty politics. That post was deleted shortly thereafter. Today, PUP Chairman Henry Charles Usher says that Palacio's decision is regrettable.
I was disappointed to hear that not only Mayor Palacio but other persons who had applied to run for councillors had removed their names. I believe that, well, the PUP is a democratic party. We allow persons to contest. Anybody can contest any particular seat. The Prime Minister is on record to say if anybody wants to contest him in Orange Walk Central, they can certainly do that. So in terms of the process to where the vetting committee went through the 125 applications that we had countrywide, decisions were made by the National Executive as to the conventions to be held in each jurisdiction, each municipality. Mayor Palacio decided not to be a part of that process. I wish her well. Certainly she has her time that she has to continue to be mayor from now until, until February, I believe, when her term will be up and the term of the councils countrywide will be up. And we expect that she will continue to govern in the way she has been governing Belmopan as mayor of Belmopan and continue to provide the services that Belmopan deserves.
As to the public officers who are contesting the municipal elections, Minister Usher says that they will have to resign if elected. Today, when the media caught up with Freetown Area Representative Francis Fonseca, we asked him to confirm whether he will be contesting the next general elections. There has been information to suggest that the veteran politician, who has led that division for 5 consecutive terms, is stepping down. Well, he confirms that it is something that he is considering after 20 years in politics.
I haven't made any decision as yet. I haven't made any decision, but it's no secret. I mean, I think, you know, last time I was on Uncut, Jules asked me about this, and I said to him very frankly and openly that the last time I ran, I really said to the people of Freetown that that would be my last time running. You know, I've been doing this for 20 years now, 20 years this year. I've been elected 5 times by the people of Freetown. I continue to enjoy their support and confidence. But, you know, at some point you have to move on. But I haven't made a final decision yet. Obviously, that's something I have to discuss with the party and the Prime Minister and the leader of the party. So I will do that in the months ahead and make a final decision in good due time.
And while Minister Fonseca will, in the months ahead, make that ultimate decision, PUP Chairman Henry Charles Usher confirmed that Mayor Bernard Wagner will be endorsed for Belize City, and so will Alan Pollard. The other councillor candidates will be chosen at an upcoming convention on November 5th.
I believe that the convention for councillors will be November 5th in Belize City, and then thereafter the team will be endorsed, and Mayor Wagner is being endorsed as the mayor. For the PUP candidate for mayor, going for a third term, a three-peat.
Sir, it seems that Pollard didn't want to back down. Are you able to say how you guys managed to, have him, step aside?
I believe in the interests of the party and the interests of unity. Councillor Alan Pollard is running along with Mayor. This is a unity team, and it is a dynamic team. Having Mayor Wagner and having Alan Pollard together definitely signifies that the team is united. It makes sure that the PUP will once again be victorious in the municipal polls in Belize City, and we'll make sure that we'll continue to do the great work that has been happening the last 6 years in Belize City.
The distribution of 5,000 Chromebooks donated by the Republic of China Taiwan commenced today. These devices were pledged in April during the state visit of the President of the Republic of China Taiwan, Dr. Tsai Ing-wen, and were recently delivered to the Ministry of Education. The modern, lightweight, and portable computing devices are designed to enhance educational experiences and facilitate interactive learning. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
The distribution of electronic devices to be used for learning in the classrooms commenced today in Belize City. Minister of Education Francis Fonseca says that it's been part of the Belize Education Sector Plan 2020-2025 that focuses on access to technology for students across the country.
As you all know, we launched the Connect Ed project, so we wanted to ensure that our schools across the country had access to reliable internet services. That has been a huge success. We've expanded reliable internet services to over 200 schools across the country over the last 2 years. And we want to, of course, complement that with devices, giving our students devices. So when the President of Taiwan came to Belize and we met with her as a cabinet, we raised that issue with her, and we said we wanted digital devices to give to our students. They came through with a donation of 5,000 devices, and we are now distributing those devices across the country.
6 schools were issued devices today, including St. Joseph Primary School and All Saints Primary School. They were chosen based on need by a technical team that conducted an assessment. The Chromebooks were distributed to students at the upper division, Standard 4, 5, and 6. For All Saints, the donation of these devices complements their digital learning experience.
The last time media was here is that we had a handing over ceremony of projectors, and so at present we have all classes except Infant 1 and Infant 2 that have projectors installed, okay? And so what will happen is that this will lend and this will just add to the digital classes that we give, whereby teachers will be able to use the laptops with students, and then also we're a part of the coding code, so that will also help in that area whereby students will be able to do the code in the classrooms.
This morning, 86 devices were distributed to 4 primary schools within the Fort George Division.
So it's Ebenezer, Queen Street Baptist, St. Mary's, and Holy Redeemer.
All right, so a total of how many will benefit from this?
I don't know the exact total, but it's around, the biggest total is Holy Redeemer. That has the biggest school population, so I think they are getting 56 devices. There are 12 devices here at Ebenezer, and I believe it's around the same amount at Queen Street Baptist and St. Mary's.
For teacher Dina Avila of Ebenezer Primary School and acting principal Carol Flowers of St. Mary's Primary School, the donation will help in bridging the digital divide.
We have the new curriculum, which is competency-based, and we are trying to incorporate a lot of hands-on. And also our science has been changed from science to science and technology. So we are trying to incorporate technology, but as you may know, different parents have different struggles, and so we're not able to really have each student bring a technology device in the class. So these Chromebooks are going to be very helpful. They allow us the Google Suite, and with the Google Suite, we can introduce the Google Docs, the Google's PowerPoint, which is a new way of them even doing presentation to move away from that posters. And to be quite honest, everything is moving in the direction of technology.
It was amazing when I got the call to say that our students would have received it. We are in a technological era, so these would help enhance education here at St. Mary's.
12 you guys got?
12.
How will it be used?
We'll have to work it out, but I'm sure that the teachers will work together with the children to share, maybe when they're in the classroom. I don't know about taking it home, but we'll figure it out because it's something that we definitely need.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
When we return, Belize rejects being placed on EU list of non-cooperative jurisdictions for tax purposes.
Thank you for calling me. This is a inspection first. Once the inspection passes, we do the connection for you.
Our teams at BEL continue to serve you.
Design Depot, your all-in-one destination for transforming your living spaces. Explore the world of GE with our selection of cutting-edge appliances for functional, convenient, and modern living. Find solutions for every paint project, from home to industrial, with our extensive selection of Sherwin-Williams paints and coatings. Safeguard your home with the durability of our weather-resistant windows and doors. Elevate your kitchen and bath with the timeless elegance of Kohler sinks and faucets. Transform your space with our constantly refreshed tile inventory, always embracing the latest tile trends. Design Depot, your source for innovation, inspiration, and impeccable design. Design Depot, all in one place.
Do you know how to choose the best engine oil for your car? We believe the best engine oil should provide optimal performance and ultimate protection for longer. For Quartz engine oil, our engineers have formulated age resistance technology, also known as ART. It's a breakthrough innovation. The interaction between oil molecules is increased, creating a super-resistant molecular structure. So whatever the conditions, it helps to prevent the lubricant protective film from breaking. Any engine is exposed to harsh conditions: extreme temperature and pressure, friction, sludge accumulation. The molecular structure of Quartz with ART stays strong to perfectly lubricate and protect engine parts in all conditions. And the results are outstanding. Protection against sludge buildup improved by 18%. Protection against mechanical wear improved by 74%. Thanks to Quartz with ART, save on maintenance and preserve your engine's power. So next time you wonder which engine oil to use, choose performance and protection that lasts longer. Quartz with age resistance technology. Keep your engine younger for longer.
It seems like every other day, we hear of a family member or friend being diagnosed with a serious illness such as cancer, heart attack, kidney failure, or stroke. When these illnesses strike, you want to focus on recovery and your overall well-being. At RF&G Life Insurance, we offer critical illness insurance to help with medical expenses when diagnosed with such critical illnesses, providing security to access quality healthcare facilities and to ease the worry about finances. In case you are diagnosed with a life-threatening illness that is covered by the policy, critical illness insurance pays you a lump sum amount to help you obtain access to quality treatment and medication. Having critical illness insurance provides the financial support that will bring you and your family the security and peace of mind necessary to manage these illnesses. The possibility of being diagnosed can be worrying, but by having a critical illness plan, you could have funds to assist with expenses such as medications, hospital deductibles, childcare, household expenses, and so much more. The right time to plan for the unexpected is when you're healthy. For more information, visit our office today to speak with one of our experienced agents about critical illness insurance. Your health and wellness is what matters most. Take care of it.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
On Tuesday, the European Union issued an updated list of non-cooperative jurisdictions for tax purposes, and Belize was placed on that list. The reason behind the decision was because the country was assigned a partially compliant rating for international standard on exchange of information on request. This was published by the Global Forum on Tax Transparency and Exchange of Information on July 19, 2023. The government of Belize rejects as false the designation of Belize by the EU, saying it is unjust and procedurally unfair and can, quote, lead to erroneous conclusions being drawn about Belize's commitment to work with its global partners in establishing a modern and fair international tax framework, unquote. Today, Minister of Constitutional Reform Henry Charles Usher says that the designation did not take into consideration the legislation that have been passed to address these issues, and Belize will apply for a review of the decision.
That really indicates is a situation where you have these first world countries continuing to change the goalposts, continuing to move the goalposts for jurisdictions like Belize, jurisdictions in the Caribbean when it comes to these issues. This government has passed a huge amount of legislation dealing with transparency in taxes, but for whatever reason, the EU decided to go back to a date when those legislations had not been passed. They did not give Belize an opportunity to update them on what legislation has been passed, and you all know, you've covered it in the House. Since April, there has been a number of legislation, a package of legislation dealing with tax issues, dealing with all the different institutions that deals with taxes as well. But instead of looking at what has been done, they decided to go back to an arbitrary date before the legislations were passed and to use that as their baseline. What Belize will do, of course, is to apply for a review, but it can't be done until April of 2024. But we do believe that in April 2024, when that application for review is made, that Belize will then be removed from this list.
Last year, St. Mary's Primary School in Belize City received the devastating news that its school building on Gabriel Lane would have been demolished, and the students would have had to be given work-from-home packages until a solution was worked out. In September, the upper division was relocated to the Samuel Haynes building on Mahogany Street, while the lower division classes were housed in buildings set up at the rear of the compound. In an update to the situation, during a visit to the institution today, News 5 found workmen constructing a 2-story wooden structure, which will see all students return to one compound. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
Today, construction was underway at the St. Mary's Primary School compound at the rear of the original concrete structure. In 2022, the 2-story building was deemed a hazard and unsafe for use by the institution. The upper division had to be relocated to the Samuel Haynes building on Mahogany Street. The lower division students take classes inside wooden structures at the back of the compound. Acting Principal Carol Flowers says that the split has reduced their student population and has increased their expenses.
It has been a great challenge, being back and forth, having issues with being to deal with issues on both compounds, paying bills on both compounds, so it's a lot. It has its challenges. I mean, they were excited at first, but we have to be dealing with heat, with so many different things. I mean, adjusting to 1 levels now, because first we had 2 at every level. Now it's only 1. We had to cut off the enrollment numbers, so our numbers have dropped drastically based on where we are with the buildings that we have.
The school falls within the Fort George Division, and Area Representative Henry Charles Usher says that he has been working along with the Ministry of Education to assist.
It's something that the Ministry of Education and myself as the area rep are working on. Unfortunately, the school is still in a state where they need to send the students to different locations to have classes, but there is a plan in place to rebuild the school, make it even better, so that all of the students can be housed and schooled right there at the location.
At this time, a 4-classroom wooden structure is being constructed. Those classrooms will be assigned to standards 3, 4, 5, and 6 in an effort to have all students return to one compound by the start of the new year.
So we are ecstatic that construction has started, and we're hoping that by January, everybody will be on the same compound. So we are hoping that, pray God, no hurricane or anything to slow down the process, that will be here in January.
It's a building that will house how many classrooms?
4 classrooms. Standard 3 to 6 will be in these classrooms that they're building.
Has the quality in education dropped any at all, seeing that the students have to be here, there, and everywhere?
I haven't seen the quality of education drop. As a matter of fact, our resilient students in the Fort George Division at St. Mary's, they've actually embraced this challenge, and they're doing well. I don't see any drop-off in terms of what is being produced. And when they go to high school, they're producing in high school as well. So I think it's important to appreciate and to recognize that resiliency.
Enrollment is now down to 202 students. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
On Monday, freelance court reporter Anita Nemhard said she was assaulted when a woman who is before the courts lowered her face mask and coughed on her. The incident happened when Epifania Kaliz, the common-law wife of Elmer Na, exited the courtroom where she is facing ammunition charges. Nemhard was making a video recording of Kaliz to accompany the story on the court charge when Kaliz walked right up to her, lowered her face mask, and coughed in her face. This is one of several times when court reporters have come under attack or threat of an attack over the decades. But an amendment to the legislation on assault and threats that are made upon certain groups of people, including reporters, should deter accused and convicted persons and their relatives from committing these kinds of offenses. Today, News 5's Marian Ali spoke with 2 other persons who have come under threats and assault while fulfilling their role of court reporter. Here's that story.
On Monday, this woman, Epifania Kaliz, lowered her face mask and coughed in the face of court reporter Anita Nemhard, just as she was taking a video recording of her leaving the courtroom. Nemhard chalks up the incident to assault by Kaliz, who had appeared in court on ammunition offenses.
She came straight towards me, took her mask from, she exited the door and came and coughed into my face.
Okay.
You know, as far as I know, I've never had a word with Epifania Kaliz before. We have never had any kind of issues before. I sat right next to her in court on Monday, during what was supposed to be the decision that was adjourned. So I don't understand what could have prompted her to behave in that manner.
Almost everyone remembers when Leslie Pipersberg and Patrick Rabatu were convicted back in 2004 of the murders of their fellow Bowen and Bowen colleagues, security guards Fidel May and Kevin Alvarez. The duo's sentence of 35 years in prison was later upheld upon their appeal. But no one knows that when they exited the courtroom that day, Pipersberg assaulted a videographer and attempted to also assault a court reporter who was taking their picture as they walked out of the courtroom. Former court reporter Roland Parks told News 5 how he avoided getting hurt.
They were coming down the steps of the Supreme Court, the main court building there that has the clock on top. I was down at the bottom of the stairs trying to get a good shot of them coming down after they were found guilty. And one of them, I think it was the dark one, I don't remember the name, I don't want to say Pipersberg or this one, but the dark one, the tall one, he attempted to knock my camera out my hand. And I was holding my camera so firm, he failed to knock it out of my hand.
Roy Davis started out as a reporter back in 1979. And although he has suffered a stroke, is still working out of the courts today. He shared with us an incident when he was assaulted.
One time, I was pushed down by one accused person. Not convicted, one accused person, because I wasn't convicted yet. And as I say, I expect all of that because that goes with the job. I try not to be scared, you know, by all the threats I get. I maintain my cool and I don't make it bother me.
Nemhard and Davis say that the nature of their work is such that the people who appear in court from time to time either threaten, assault, or attempt to intimidate them.
I don't want to accept that this is what will happen every day, but I also have to be very cautious, you know, of the risk. I've always known that there is risk, you know, but it's happening so often now.
There's been other instances where criminals, accused persons and so on attempted to try to hit me or hit my camera, but that wasn't too cool because I usually hold my camera tight. And I try not to get too close to the people I was photographing out at the court.
But there is an amendment to the existing law that governs the penalty for uttering threatening words and for assault upon certain categories of people, including reporters. In the first week of this month, Cabinet approved the criminal code that now makes threats and assault serious offenses. Minister Francis Fonseca rose to present the amendment in the House on Friday.
Press is absolutely fundamental to our democracy. It's fundamental, in my view, to the rule of law. The press has, you know, historically always acted as a check and balance on power. You know, that's the whole purpose and objective of the press. So even though, you know, even when we get irritated by questions, and over the 20 years I have been asked a lot of irritating questions, I still understand and appreciate the absolute importance of a functioning, strong press. So I certainly hope that, you know, when the People's Commission, Constitutional Commission completes its work, that as a part of their recommendations, and of course these things have to come from the people, so I hope the press is doing its work and getting your representatives to advance this issue. I hope that at the end of when that report is produced, that will be one of the recommendations.
Davis, Rowland, and Nemhard hope that the new penalties will discourage people from committing these offenses against court reporters and cameramen.
The punishment from the court would be more severe than just a common assault. And that in itself is a good thing because we who are reporters, or you guys who are reporters now out there in the public domain, you take a lot from the public sometimes.
We all need that kind of protection still. Regardless of the job that we do, we should be protected.
Amending the law, imposing stiffer penalties should help. But I don't know if it will. Because when people want to think, they're not worried about what are the consequences, you know, and just do. You know. So I don't know if it can help, but I hope it does.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
Up next, Colville Young Jr.'s launch of My Point of View book of poems.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benque Viejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Everything is better electric. Be more efficient with electric vehicles and transforming your home with Energy Star electric appliances and power tools. This helps to create a greener and cleaner world for the next generation. Energize your world with BL.
14 teams started on their quest to win the 2023 Benny's Inter-Office Basketball Championship rings. 10 have fallen by the wayside, and now we're down to the final 4, the Benny's IBL semifinals. They're playing basketball. The Belize Civic Center will feature this Saturday night, October 21 at 7:30 p.m. the highly energetic and built on a defensive motor mindset, your Ministry of Health squad, led by Ryan Michaels, Darwin Zuniga, and Neil Nicholson, battling against the mighty police department, who also have a DNA like the G13, who will answer with Albert Longsworth. Stephen Wade and Joseph Sutherland. Can the MOH stop the police? Who can stop the police? Who on the dance hall to stop police? Then at 8:30 p.m.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Your defending champion, Rico Black and his Stuffing of Tours, will start their quest to defend their championship. But this time, it's his big son, Afri Black, leading the way, and his adopted sons, Tyrone Mission Edwards and Earl and Bagger Ferguson. But only this time, it's gonna be a revenge series from last year for the BWS squad, who is stronger, bigger, and poised with blood in their eyes. Leading their charge will be Luis Barcelona Jr., Earl Buller Johnson, and Travis Turbo Bernardes. Who will win the ring? Remember, this Saturday night at the Belize Civic Center, 7:30 p.m., it's the semifinals. Game 1 of the best of 3 series.
Inter-Office Basketball League, just another level!
Bring out the entire family. The after party will be at Thirsty Thursdays. Proud sponsors. So let's get it on!
Get ready, babe. We're going on a vacation.
Finally, where are we going?
Don't worry, babe. I have we covered.
Are you sure you know where we're going?
Yes, babe. Oh, right there, see? Babe, the price me too good to be true. Me look much more better in that picture.
When life throws you a curveball, Belize Bank has your back. With our online financing, you can turn any vacation mishap into a dream getaway.
Cheers to Belize Bank for making our dream vacation a reality.
Thanks to you, babes, to turn things around.
No thanks to you, cheapo.
Out.
Experience the future of financing with Belize Bank online, where you can secure funds for anything from anywhere at any time, all without stepping foot in a bank. Apply for a loan today and unlock a world of possibilities.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart.
It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Colville Young Jr. has made an addition to Belize's literary output with his new book, My Point of View. It is a collection of poems written by Young that touches on issues of religion, politics, and family. And today he held a launch ceremony at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts, where those in the audience were able to hear excerpts from this collection before making their purchase. News 5's Paul Lopez was at the launch.
Colville Young Jr.'s book of poems, My Point of View, features an image of St. John's Cathedral on its cover page. Like the old church, Young's poems take readers on a journey through time with an ensemble of poetic language and styles. Young hosted a book launch in Belize City today.
It's just writing about what I liked. So, like, I'm a family man, I'm also a religious person, and I also love my country. So those are the topics I wrote about.
One of his personal favorites from the book is a poem called George and Philip, in remembrance of the father of the nation, the Right Honorable George Price, and national hero Philip Golson. And to introduce the poem, he invited two individuals who know a lot about George and Philip.
I think he had a deep sense of moral purpose. Yes, they said he was a stoic, he was ascetic, he was frugal. Some believe that he was one of the most enigmatic leaders of the world. I found him weird at times indeed. But I sensed something about Mr. Price after I had read The Prince, Machiavelli. I sensed there was something Machiavellian about him too. I think he thought that the end, independence, will justify whatever means he used to achieve it.
This was Golson's first of several tests when, along with Richardson, he was sentenced and jailed for 1 year with hard labor. Golson's statement on going to prison was, "I would prefer to be in prison rather than to be dead and muzzled." In going to prison for his political beliefs, Golson represented the first and only politician in Belize's history to have made such a sacrifice.
George Price was no Judas. He spent almost his entire life trying to get the best for the Belizean people. If you believe he sold out his country for money, then you should get yourself a shovel and dig on the Pickstock Street property where he lived. Whilst George, of Hispanic heritage, was comfortable working under Guatemala, Philip, of Creole heritage, was not. He did not like it that in Guatemala, black people were treated like second-class citizens.
End of Time and Life Everlasting are two poems from the book that speak to Young's philosophy on life and religion. Those poems were recited by Pastor Louis Wade.
End of time. The end of time is nearer than you think. When you die, it will cease to exist. As far as I'm concerned, had I not been born, this world would have never existed. Why worry about the opportunities in life? At some point, it will be all irrelevant and gone. Why must I be concerned about other people's lives? After all, they will all eventually die. Live and let live. Don't worry about others. Take what you can, damn everyone else. And then you die. Happy riddance.
The book is being sold for $20 at CY's Music. Young says he intends to make copies available in other parts of the country very soon.
You don't want to just dive, letting people know the way you feel, and it's like, as I said, sharing emotions, sharing ideas.
A tale of two secondary schools. In days of old, when our education system was married to our religious institutions, someone said, let's experiment, and the junior sects were born. One on the north side, junior sect number 1. The other on the south side, junior sect number 2. And so the journey began. The first went on to become Gwen Liz, named after a businesswoman politician. The other became E.P. York, named after a teacher, musician. The first remained an average school, not much prestige to see. The other became the #1 institution in our land.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, good night.